Hey there. So you're planning a big event, a wedding, a huge party. That's amazing. But you're probably also realizing that choosing the right insurance to protect it all can be, well, a bit confusing. Today, we're going to break down one of the most important decisions you'll make to make sure your special day is safe no matter what happens.
If you've started doing your research, you've probably seen the name Eventsured pop up everywhere, right? They're a really big name in this space. But the real question is, how do they actually stack up against the competition? We've gone deep and analyzed the fine print, and today we're going to show you exactly what we found.
All right, so let's take a closer look at Eventsured. I mean, they've been in business for over 20 years, so they definitely have experience. But what happens when you peel back the layers and really dig into the details of their policies? Well, that's where things get interesting. Our analysis uncovered a few things that might give you pause. First, you can't even get a full quote without handing over your email address. But more importantly, some key things you just assume are standard, like host liquor liability, well, they aren't automatically included. And those crucial endorsements that almost every venue asks for, they're going to cost you a lot extra. You'll see their policies start at around $120. And at first glance, that seems pretty competitive, right? But the real story isn't what that price gets you. It's all about what it leaves out. And here is a perfect example. Their basic policy includes $100,000 for damage to your venue. Now, that sounds like a big number, but here's the catch. A lot of venues today require 2, maybe even 3 times that amount. So that base policy from Eventsured, it might not even meet your venue's minimum requirements. And this, right here, is where the hidden costs can really bite you. Most venues will require 2 very specific legal protections. They're called a waiver of subrogation and primary non-contributory status. All that really means is that your insurance has to pay first if something happens, and they can't sue the venue afterward. With Eventsured, getting these protections are expensive add-ons that can make your final price shoot way up. Okay, so if insured has these potential gaps in its coverage, what does a better option even look like? Let's switch gears and look at 2 top-rated alternatives that our analysis found offer way more value depending on what you actually need. So the 2 big standouts are GatherGuard and SpecialInsurance.com. For overall value in keeping things simple, GatherGuard really stood out. But if your venue has those stricter requirements we just talked about, SpecialInsurance.com is, without a doubt, the winner for its all-in-one coverage. Let's dig into GatherGuard for a second. Policies start at just $75, and right out of the gate, you get $250,000 for venue damage. That's more than double what Eventsured offers in its base plan. Oh, and host liquor liability? It's always included. This makes it a fantastic choice if your venue doesn't need all those fancy legal endorsements. And here's a cool little insider tip. With GatherGuard, you're buying directly from the insurer, a company called Intact. When you cut out the middleman, it almost always means better pricing and a smoother, simpler process for you, which is a huge win when you're busy planning. But what if your venue is one of those that requires all the tricky endorsements? That is where SpecialInsurance.com really shines. Now, their starting price of $160 might seem higher at first, but that's because those expensive endorsements we mentioned, the waiver of subrogation and primary non-contributory, they're already baked into the price. You also get $300,000 in venue damage, free coverage for setup and teardown days, and even a nifty QR code on the certificate for your venue to scan. Okay, so how can you personally make sure you're getting the absolute right policy for your event? Before you buy anything, just follow this super simple 3-step checklist. It'll help you avoid any nasty surprises. First, and this is the most important step, get the insurance requirements from your venue in writing. What liability limit do they need? Do they require those specific endorsements? Step 2, use that info to get free quotes from providers like GatherGuard and SpecialInsurance.com. And finally, step 3, please review the sample policy. I know it's the fine print, but it's the only way to know for sure what you're actually paying for. Look, in the end, choosing the right insurance isn't about finding the absolute cheapest price. It's about finding the best value, the policy that truly protects your unique event. Now that you know what to look for, you can make sure your special day is covered no matter what comes your way.